That
Yes,
you can barely hear, yeah.
the bell tower.
Okay, so I think the first thing that I'm wondering is the statue that I had showed the person and was told was some sort of magical artifact by the from the pirates or whatever.
Hmm.
Uh, would there be a way that I could try to leech power from it to give to my patron, or is it just something that uh you know uh I'd be better off getting rid of?
Right. Make a Arcana check, please.
19.
19's pretty good. With the 19, you look intently at this magical artifact, and you can tell currently it does not have magical power in it.
So
That doesn't mean it's safe. That doesn't mean it's inert. It
okay.
just means it's not currently active, nor does it seem to store a lot of energy. It might just be a conduit or some kind of low power monitoring device or whatever. Its role is more information and communication based than outright power based.
Okay, so uh I guess where is there a place that I could just that's like an isolated cliff area that I could just toss it off of?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just like take a nice walk along the beach and oops, slip. It's in the water. It's someone else's problem now. It's like in Jumanji.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I hope it doesn't come back to bite our ass.
Yeah, let's hope not.
I mean, I'd say it's a statue. I'm not sure if it can, but after the church battle, not a given. Uh, okay. Um, so I guess aside from that, since in like us sharing information, I would have probably looked at the newspaper that Yagen had gotten and seen that there was a lot of stuff about the government with the convoy that we were on. Um, since we were on the edge of the convoy and survived, um, is there a like local seat of government type area that I could go to and share what I know with?
In Baines Ridge, yes, you can share with the government, but there's also a reward from the guild um, asking for any information. So you can do both. The Kensington estate is where the local lord lives, so it's just where you came from.
Okay. Uh, I is the guild something where I would be telling it to the guild and they would be telling it to um them, or
Presumably. But it's not always guaranteed. Sometimes, if the guild spots a money making opportunity, they will keep the information private. But in this case, it's hard to. It's likely that they'll just kind of like spread general awareness.
okay, would I be able to um like make a request of being able to accompany uh them to talk to the government about it?
Sure, you can try.
Okay.
You can go up to the guild counter and like, what do you say?
Um, I'd say that we were that I was in a ship that was on the edge of the convoy that sunk, and since they're offering a reward, uh request to speak to them and the you know involved government about it.
Yeah. Um, the guild's receptionist on the other side of the counter will say, Well, it sounds like very serious information. I'm going to have to ask for a little bit of an interview, just so that we can verify your statements and compare your information with what we already know.
Okay.
Are you the only member of your surviving crew?
No. I guess I excuse myself and get the others then.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. So,
Very well. You can all three of you, uh, show up to the guild master's office.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cushy place. Uh, Nice upholstered seats, a little chandelier, nice big window overlooking the water. Guildmaster looks like some kind of retired sailor guy. He has a peg leg. It looks like he's put on a lot of weight though. He sat down in a chair at the desk when you all walk in. So it's like, well, I heard a little bit about what you have to say, so why don't we get started? Could you tell me, um, you'll say, we already have on our records the ship that you were on beforehand, so that already lines up. So what could you give us your account of what happened?
uh, I explain the uh giant cloud of fog that overtook the ships, and the fact that uh possible involvement of what was the monster that you had said?
Washer.
Yeah, the, possible involvement of that, but not completely sure, and that the fog, whether it be from psychic attacks from that or some other thing, seemed to have some level of magical dampening properties.
Let's see. Anything else?
Uh, I
Oh, do
guess
you, actually, in saying that, do you actively hide anything? That's a better question.
uh, I guess I don't fully disclose the whole like what exactly I'm talking about with the magical dampening. Uh,
Oh, okay.
just like be vague about like uh what exactly is with that.
Very well, very well. But you do talk about like ships getting blown apart and other details that you may not have explicitly mentioned here.
I mean, uh, did I see that much about the ships getting blown apart? I think that Lichton would have had a better vantage view of that. I think I was on the deck trying to navigate during the point in time.
Okay.
Hmm. All right then.
I was just more concerned about the food, if anything.
Do you mention anything about your observations with the food?
Yes.
Okay. Very well. They will take down your statement. Very well. I believe this is rather dire news, considering this is something that took down a rather powerful fleet of our time. How were you able to? Uh, how were you able to get back here?
Uh, I explained that well, we had shipwrecked on an island and found a boat on the shore that from what I've seen, has it was experimental and might have possibly been a prototype worked on by the pirates but abandoned for some reason.
Pirates. Okay. Boo. Indeed, that is very troubling news. You are doing us a great service, by the way. Uh, the information that you're telling us now will save lives. If there is indeed such a threat still lurking about in the waters. And you have a request to to be present when we report to the Lord of Baines Ridge?
Yeah.
Reasonable enough. Okay. He just kind of like shuffles through some paper again. It's like, very well. If you are ready, then you will come with me. This is rather urgent business.
Okay.
All right then.
No? Yes? No?
Yeah, I guess we go over.
Yeah.
Let's walk with them to reporting.
Very
I
good.
don't see any reason not to.
No, I talk like there's a big old, ooh, are you sure? Are you sure? No. Uh,
I mean, last time we played, you did make that mysterious dice roll. To be fair.
that's true. That's true. Well, it's a little carriage ride up the hills, back to all the way back up to the Kensington estate. Once again, big manor. The guild master asks for a audience with Lord Kensington himself, and he will show up. He has a big powdered wig, tricone hat, very American colonial, like British officer looking.
Yeah.
Tall, thin man with a dour expression. I presume you're bothering me for a good reason, and he kind of looks down on all of you from where he stands on the porch.
You know what? Out of character, the moment you spoke with that voice, I started thinking about Lord Farquaad from the first Shrek movie.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
Um, I guess that I say that uh we had been on the edge of or on one of the ships on the edge of the convoy that had been sunk recently, and I know that it had uh been something which involved government affairs, and so after reporting it to the guild, I wanted um to see that it was that like the information about it was delivered.
Why is there a lizard speaking to me? Lord Kensington will say, he'll look at the guildmaster. Is this some kind of zoo, some kind of circus show that you're wasting my time for? Talking lizards? The guildmaster will kind of like glance at you apologetically, like, no, no, Lord Kensington, sir. This is one of our sailors. It is simply our required business to report to you. It's just a lot of like blubbering and kowtowing, I guess, kind of like not kowtowing or blubbering. It's more like a resigned kind of like it's just procedure, sir. Well, if you're done wasting my time, I have other things to do. And he'll start to turn away, and he'll march off, and the guildmaster will turn around and apologize, like, sorry about that. Lord Kensington is a very busy man, yes, and I'm sure you'll find that in matters concerning the sea and the actual working folk, our guild is, shall we say, more involved.
Makes sense.
Uh,
Wow, that guy doesn't rub me off the right way.
Again, apologies.
yeah, I guess I, ask if there's any more, like, pertinent information about it that, like, uh, for of us to be wary of, or of why the attack might have happened.
That is... Some of it is public information that is good for everyone to know. Some of it... Well, some of what we know is rather dangerous should it fall into the wrong ears. It kind of peers down, like... I wonder how interested you would be in taking on this investigation as a member of our guild.
Sure, I had already registered the ship, so might as well. And if we were there and survived it once, why not?
Works for me.
Very well. Very well. In that case, this is certainly not a place to talk. I suppose we'll make it all the way back down to the guild house to speak. Back into the carriage. Along the way, he's kind of like... He explains a little bit about his job and his duties as guild master. And that recently, there have been mysterious disappearances of ships here and there. And that overall confidence in shipping is going down. So he predicts various things like the prices of everything's going to go up just because of the reduced supply from fewer traders shipping goods. Yeah. Not long till you're back into his office. He'll show you a map. There are 5... I hate maps as a DM, just because that limits my ability to suddenly spawn in places of interest.
Well, yeah.
But here's
Well,
a basic...
Well, you can always make the map up as you go along.
Well,
That's true.
It's always like he has limited information. We might discover something later.
True. True.
Yeah. But he'll show you a map of where the various disappearances have been happening. He'll show you areas, routes that are shown to be of increased risks because of like pirates here, or there be monsters there. It's a very detailed thing that also shows commodities and where different resources are produced and where they're in demand. Also paired with an almanac. And it's all laid out on the table. As you can see, it is true that the disappearances of our ships have mostly been in higher risk areas. But generally, they are heard from again in form of ransom. It's not common for pirates, simple pirates, to sink their quarry. What? There's a map. Kind of like Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Vague shapes, vague circles.
Is this like just a map that he has a single copy of that I should be copying down, or
There is so much information you couldn't possibly copy it down on any portable sheet of paper. But the basics you can definitely copy down on an existing map that you might, or existing sea charts that you might have.
okay. I don't think that I technically have any, but like, I guess because I'm like a sailor person,
Yeah, weren't you a navigator?
yeah, it could just be implied that I have one, even if it's
Yeah.
not like explicitly part of my starting material.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I make some notes on the map about, some of the stuff that's more pertinent to the investigating it.
Yeah. The current state of the investigation is just hypervigilance and checking in on any possible anomaly, any possible clues, and there are a couple of sites of interest that are already listed. One is a until recently uncharted island that has not necessarily habitation, but it looks like people have been landing on it and doing weird things. There's weird rock formations on the side of the cliff face. Um, there's that. I'll mark it on your map. That's like a couple of days away. Any places of magic? So the academy, the Sisterhood of the Vine. That is one of the more prominent religions in the island chains.
That sounds interesting.
They are a monastery. Yeah, they're a monastery that produces high quality, like ultra luxury wine.
Hmm.
And they're very secretive about their production methods.
I see.
Uh, anything else?
Pentworthington's Academy. That's always a good place to look to because they tend to have like mages looking out into the sea. If they have any like divination people, they can hear like prophecies from them.
What was the academy?
Pentworthington. That's way in the north, at least a week away.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking possibly the island with the suspicious rocks might be a place to start.
That one is the closest.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
asked about it with the others. If that's what they'd think would be good as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna be good. Definitely seems suspicious. But who knows? Maybe there's some hidden treasure there.
You had me at treasure.
Yeah, it could be anything.
You
Gold,
know,
food.
treasure roads means more gold means more food means more people to feed.
Yep.
Okay. Um. So
Speaking of treasure, here's some payment for the information that you have provided. You can also consider it an advance for our cooperation in the future. He'll give you about 75 gold worth of uncut gems.
Okay. Just to the group or whatever.
Yeah. Uncut.
We'll have to find some place to trade those at some point, probably then.
Yeah.
Well, as far as currency goes, gems are fairly close to currency.
Yeah.
In terms of like, you can, they can almost be a stand-in for regular currency.
Fair enough.
I see. Hmm.
Hmm.
Also, Meme hasn't shared the gold with us yet from the scorpion eggs.
Correct.
Well, I can buy us supplies. I did already buy us some food for the journey, or at least some rations that could be
Yep.
like some preserved rations that could be prepared. Is there anything else that I'd get us?
Guns. How much did I give precedent for how much guns cost here?
More
No,
than what Yagi
Yes.
had.
Yeah, I said like at least 10 gold.
at least 10 gold. I only have 5 gold right now.
There we go.
Okay.
I think it was like 12 for a flintlock. So that's like a one shot that takes like at least a minute to load. So consider it almost like a spell slot.
Mhm. Question is, how much would that end up getting used? Because I know that Yagi does a lot of close range combat mostly, anyways.
Right. Well, it's good for boarding when you need a big burst of damage to get rid of someone who's in your way.
Fair enough.
I
But
mean, it's also a range option.
yes, it's also really cool and piratey.
Yep.
Uh, I guess
You know, I'm a chef and all. However, pulls out the flintlock.
yeah. So I guess would that you said 12 gold for a flintlock?
What was that?
You said 12 gold for a flintlock?
Yeah, 12 gold for a flintlock, probably like 20 for a musket, and either of them can come in magical form. They just aren't commonly traded.
Yeah. Do they does that cost include ammo though?
Ammo is negligible.
Okay.
Like I don't want to spend time tracking ammo.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
I
into the ammo, gotcha.
I guess because Yagi is requesting one of those, I get him one,
Very good.
and
You'll buy a flintlock.
okay, Yagi had the flint.
Some sailors, if they're really wealthy, they'll have like a whole brace of flintlocks so they can go bam and then draw their second one and bam and draw their third one and bam.
That's a lot of gold.
Like a bit much though.
They're just strapped with flintlocks because they know it takes a minute to fucking load. Wait, is the musket the same?
The musket is pretty similar, oftentimes, but if you want to be really serious about damage, there's a blunderbuss, which is like a big shotgun.
How much is that one?
A
That-
blunderbuss? Ooh, that one's pricey and also kind of dangerous. 35. But
Man,
it shoots in a cone, and you can target as many as you want in a cone.
I
I
guess.
feel like that's good for like short range.
Short range, kill everything that you can see in that short range. Bam.
I mean, if Meme shares the gold for the Scorpion X, I would totally get it.
Well, I mean, I, well, I guess I could get you one of those and myself a flintlock.
You're getting a blunderbuss?
Yeah, I guess you said it was 35.
Yes. A blunderbuss and a flintlock. Okay. So here's how a blunderbuss will work. Uh, do, 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 do.
So then I guess I get the flintlock then.
Okay.
Getting that. Okay. Then do you want anything, Lich?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Cool.
So a blunderbuss will typically do 3d6 piercing damage in a cone, in a 15-foot cone, so it's pretty much like Burning Hands. However, you can spend an action before you fire to overload your gun and add an extra d6.
You had me there.
What is the flintlock's attack?
Flintlock will do a d12 plus dex.
D12 plus dex, and attack is a dex check as well then, right?
It's a ranged attack with dex.
What is the range on that?
Probably like 30. It's not terribly good because it is like a musket, not a musket. It is smoothbore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sidearm, but you know.
Own a musket for home defense, just like the founding fathers intended.
Also, I wasn't listening to the blunderbuss thing because I was talking to my mother.
Well,
Sorry, what was that? The signal's cutting off.
He was talking to his mom and didn't hear the full blunderbuss explanation.
Okay. It's like Burning Hands, but you can add an extra d6. You can overload it as an action.
I see. So,
But you can't store
Burning
it
Hand?
overloaded. Burning Hands is 3d6 fire, but what I'm saying is it's a cone that does 3d6 piercing damage. A 15-foot cone. Dex save
Okay,
piercing
and
damage. But if you can
okay,
spend
got
an
it.
action to overload it, however, you can't store it overloaded. So you can't just like spend time before combat to just overload. No, that's once the initiative starts, you can start overloading.
Got it.
And then, if you haven't used it by the time initiative ends, you need to unoverload it.
Yep. I'm also open to tweaking the stats because I'm terrible at mechanics. But yeah, that's how it is for now.
Yeah.
Alright then.
So yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
I guess
So, what's the range on it? Oh, wait.
15.
Just look
15-foot
at Burning
cone.
Hands.
15-foot cone. So everything you can get in a triangle that is 15 feet away.
So, let's see, I guess, since Yagi is the, chef, I ask him if, aside from, salted meat, if there's any, food provisions we should be getting.
Nutrition? What?
Vegetables?
Food provisions. Provisions. What, Yagi?
Vegetables.
Okay. I think that there weren't super large amounts of vegetables here. How much would some vegetables with like some level of like ambient stability be?
You're probably thinking root vegetables. They tend to be a little bit pricier just because that takes growing space, which is not very available here. Probably 3 gold a barrel.
Okay, I guess I get 1 barrel of that. The ship.
Okay.
Then I guess we set off for the one island.
Very good.
Is the
Alright.
island with the kobolds that we crash landed in the same direction or a different direction?
It's a little bit out of the way, but you can still make the same trip.
Okay. I guess on the way there, on the way to the island, I have a stop by there to give them one of the barrels of salted pork.
Alright.
You just like throw it off the ship as you drive
No,
as
no,
you
just
sail.
go over,
You launch it from a cannon.
land at the island, give it to them. You know.
Yes, they'll be very happy about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. If you sail by,
I don't
you
know.
land.
I was trying to say I don't know where you put the deck save part.
Oh, the deck save. Make it a DC 10 plus your dex for now. So however much your dex mod is, 10 plus dex mod. I don't know.
Okay.
You kill everyone. The end.
Damn.
I was just gonna test that one out, but yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Uh. Uh. Okay. So I guess we go to the island with the weird rocks.
Yep.
Very good. The kobolds, they will be very happy about the offering from the seas that is not wet or soggy. The dry offering from the sea.
Yep.
If you, sorry, did you say that you take a look on the island, or was that just a brief stop?
The with the kobolds.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we stop by at the island and just bring it up to the village real quick.
Yeah.
So
Looks like the kobolds are doing substantially better than they were before.
Okay.
The captain, if you see him, he has another badge on his chest.
How's our boy Knick-Knack doing? Is he recovered?
Interestingly enough, you don't hear from Knick-Knack.
That's concerning.
oh,
But everyone else, they say that the great egg has blessed them with more and more gifts with the passing days. I guess it hasn't been that many days. It's only been like what night less than that. This is probably an update for when you spent more time away.
Hey, I mean, I'd say that if we sailed to the place and sailed back, that it might have been like 2 or 3 nights, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I guess. So it's nice to hear that they're doing better.
Yeah. They're eating properly. They have a little nursery that they built from another scrap of ships, which is kind of, I don't know if it's uncomfortable because the suffering and like the wreckage of the sea becomes the benefit of these kobolds.
I mean, I'd say, death turning into new life, kind of poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like asking a doctor, how's business? Is it good? Is it bad? How do you say it?
Yeah.
the business is booming.
Your passive is really high, right? What's it, 17?
Yeah,
Let me check.
Yagi has like a really high passive. I have like 13 passive, which is semi-high.
It's 16.
Yeah. So
There's an extra barrel when you set off to leave. that you didn't put there before.
The ship?
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Is that just something that he notices, or?
Can I open the barrel?
Yeah. Inside is Knick-Knack, the kobold.
Oh.
Let's say,
Wait,
oh
did he
god,
try to
we found that
sneak in
counter.
He tried to sneak himself on the ship. You know, I'm just gonna close the lid back.
Okay. Okay.
You hear muffled. That was close.
So Knick-Knack is on the ship. Okay. I was worried
Yep.
that after him talking about dishonor that he had seppuku'd himself, but no.
I was more worried we get like a I'm more worried we were about to get a combat encounter on the ship.
I mean, you could
know,
if you wanted to.
No, God no.
you know the amount of times I just like backtrack. It's like,
For next session, not this one.
oh, I hear something. I see the fog coming. Okay, I go back to sleep. I see Knick-Knack inside the barrel. Okay, I close back the barrel.
Well,
I pretend I didn't see anything.
I guess we're setting off or whatever then.
Very good. So Uncharted islands are a little bit harder to navigate towards, just because they are Uncharted.
Well,
Um,
I guess that while I'm navigating over there, I jot down like a sort of, maybe not like the best of maps, but like just the type of map that I could make to be able to like aid us getting around there. Just from information that I'm seeing.
right. Make a navigation check. So and that's going to be for this one. It'll be intelligence check, intelligence based, I think.
Hey, you said that last time. 14.
Right. 14's pretty good.
Yay, proficiency.
Yay. Yeah. So you pass by some other unrelated islands here and there. And it's kind of hard to tell like what exactly you're looking for because it's a vague description of like suspicious markings and engravements on the sides of the cliff. But then it becomes clear when you get there. I don't know if I already described it to you before in a different conversation, but this is what it looks like. Let me draw on the board. Freehand. Rock gray. So this is what it looks like peeking out from the side of the water. It's like a big stony island. And this is like the water line. Woo!
Okay.
And then there are holes. Um, like Swiss cheese, but more organized.
Okay.
All up on the side of the island.
I guess that on one of the pieces of parchment that I possess, I draw what the little things look like.
Yeah. Each hole is probably like 5 feet in diameter, and it goes real deep in, maybe 30 feet or so.
Yeah.
And this is all like maybe 30 or so feet again off the water line that these holes start.
Okay, so 30-foot tall Reggie Rock, got it.
It does kind of look like a Reggie Rock, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
There's seagulls. Seagulls are all are in the holes making nests. And there's just this stench that's kind of hard to identify.
Is it a stench that seems, natural or artificial or?
There's nothing chemically or anything about it. It's probably natural. Some kind of rot, maybe.
That be nature check
I
to try to
see.
discern it.
Nature check, survival check. Yeah.
Okay.
21.
21.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Oh, with 21, you can get very specific. This is rotting meat.
Ow!
Rot-
But not just any kind of rotting meat. This is like rotting pork or some other mammal meat.
When you say mammal, I'm starting to think it's a human, isn't it?
Long pork. I don't think you can, if you've been around enough dead bodies to be able to identify rotting human flesh, but
Definitely some.
I will
sort of-
say that it doesn't smell, there is no distinct humanness to the smell, it's just generalized mammal.
Okay.
So it's probably some sort of animal.
But no dung, no nothing, just the meat.
Gotcha.
Would you like to land on the island?
I guess, is there a place that we can?
There's a little bit of a rocky outcropping that I guess you can use as a bit of a dock.
Okay.
Alright then.
Guess
Very
we
well.
can.
Excuse me.
Seriously.
You will land on the island. There's not a lot going on. There's no like trees or grass or anything. It's mostly rock, seagulls, bird poop, and then these weird holes. Why don't you make an investigation check if you would like? If you just want to
21 again.
check, just do a once around on the island. 21 again.
21 again. Oh
Goodness.
boy.
This time,
Oh,
this time it's because of my
ADV.
+3.
Alright then.
7 and 8, your attention is mostly drawn towards the hole, but with a 21, you can see remnants of a fire that looks like it was been tried to be washed away, but there was a fire burning some stuff.
Hmm.
You can surmise that whoever was here got rid of whether it was tools or whatever. They got rid of whatever they had here, either dumping it off the water or burning it.
There's like no
on
clues
this
in the
rock.
ashes of what it might be.
There is clues.
Okay.
Not in the ashes, but in the water. Some of it didn't make it into the fire, but instead is just kind of like what was originally general flotsam. You can tell are this stuff that was related to what was happening here. You see a fragment of a barrel. There's some writing on it, like stamped for a company. It says Caleb's Fine Meats.
Oh, the canned products.
Is that something that your
With a set.
character's saying out loud, Yagi?
I mean, yeah, I saw it in the market.
Okay. So then, if Yagi's character says, "Oh, the canned meats" out loud upon seeing that, I guess I make note of that and
Yep.
take some part of the barrel for evidence.
Yes.
Yep.
With a 7 and 8, this is mostly clues from the holes themselves. If you take a look, you'd have to like shoo a seagull away from its nest. The holes themselves are completely smooth, completely circular, which isn't something you generally see with like mining with like a pickaxe. No, this is like a pipe almost. You can walk all the way to the end of it where it abruptly ends. And the walls are weirdly slick. Not with the seawater or condensation or anything, but again with that kind of rancid, rotting meat smell. And you can see the seagulls now that you're up close. They're like pecking at the sides of the walls. Another detail you notice is that it is strangely warm. You generally associate stone and going underground with being relatively cool. But here, it is uncomfortably warm.
Wait, this kind of reminds me. There was like a really warm stone, right? Maybe it's that.
I was actually about to suggest maybe the island itself is alive somehow. I mean, that would explain a lot.
Looking at the holes with them after doing the stuff with the other things, or
Yeah, you can go ahead.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this drawing doesn't show it really well, but the holes are arranged very. They aren't arranged in a grid necessarily. They're kind of like
Sporadic?
no. They're neat, but not in a grid. How do you say like a
Honeycomb type thing.
yeah, like honeycomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo! Big hole.
And you said that the holes, go in a certain distance and abruptly end.
Yeah, 30 feet, and they're almost identical.
How many of them are
Man, that's a
there?
lot of holes.
How many
Yeah.
holes? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8.
How many holes does the mountain need?
Like 19.
Uh. Okay. I guess that I look around at and try to see if, like, at the end of the holes, if there's something behind it that's being covered up, or if they're just ending at that way just
Right.
because.
What do you do? Do you like look with your eyes, or do you tap it, or?
Tap it to see if there's something on, if there's like a hollow sound.
Yeah. Just with tapping, feels solid.
Okay. There any
An interesting thing to note, however, is that because these holes are so close together, the walls can be kind of thin, thin enough even to punch through if you tried.
Yeah. Before I put away my glass, my balls and glass, I'm just gonna try punching the wall. Cause why not?
Attack roll, please.
Yaga?
It's just strength, right?
Make it unarmed strike, so that's a D20 plus strength. Unless you're proficient, then you can add your proficiency check.
Oh, I thought you said that you could easily punch through the wall. So
Well, yeah, you can. This is just going to describe how well you.
Managed
Yeah,
to.
how well you either succeed or fail.
It's
it's a
you're probably going to succeed. This is
1d20.
just gonna, yeah, just roll and make an attack roll.
I don't have unarmed strike.
Well, then pretend that you're attacking with a weapon, and then you roll a D4 plus strength for damage. 12. How much damage? Roll a D4 plus strength.
Oh, 1d4 plus
Yeah,
strength.
that was the Halford's one.
2.
Plus strength.
You punch right through, sending cracks, spidering up and down the hallways. Not the hallway. It's not a hallway, but it's like a hallway.
Ew.
Yeah. Some of the seagulls will like fly away because that's just how cowardly they are. But then, once the rocks settle, that's it. It doesn't cause an all-out collapse, fortunately.
Is there anything
And then 2 seconds later, you feel this horrible chill. You don't have a spine because you're a robot, but even as a Warforged, there's just something like you're being watched.
That doesn't seem very good.
This is fine.
Being watched over by a benevolent deity now.
Is it just him that gets the feeling, or
If you're close enough, within like 20 feet at least, you would get that feeling of just like ominous, uh-oh kind of feeling.
I see.
guess I look around then?
Yeah, I can make a perception check, but who really knows, right? Are you gonna see something? Or is it all like
11.
11?
Yeah, I'll just use my passive 16. Why not?
There's nothing that you can see with your eyes that is looking at you. It's just This just feels too quiet now.
I'll be back really quick. I just need to pull away some things.
Alright then.
I guess I take a look outside the rock holes.
Yeah. You can look out into the sea. Uh,
I could see a nearby area that might be causing the feeling.
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to describe what you see. Personally, I'm not a big fan of re-rolling rolls over and over again. But with an 11, it's something from beneath the water. You almost catch a glimpse of it before it glub 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 fades away into a dark spot and then vanishes from view.
I
What is...
guess can I make a nature check to try to discern what it could have been?
Sure, but you already read
Oh,
what this might have been.
Oh, well, I rolled
So you would have
21
gotten
on it.
advantage on it. Oh, 21. Okay, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
watcher. That was absolutely a watcher.
Okay. Okay. Oh boy.
It wasn't showing all of its it wasn't showing its full might of its psychic thing, just like a cursory glance. But a watcher was watching you.
Wow, I have no idea what that is, but I am not really that concerned.
Okay. Well, I guess I make a note of the fact that there was just make a mental note to report that. There I guess since that is currently no longer directly looking at us or whatever, um for the time being I go and look at the rocks from the wall that was broken.
Yeah.
They're do they just seem like normal rocks, or
Normal rocks, a little bit greasy. Just the way they were carved out, no tool you think could have done this.
okay?
It was either done by creature or magic or just not by blowing things up and digging with pickaxes.
Yeah. Is there part of the wall that shattered that has a good example of how smooth it was?
Yeah, you can take a sample.
Okay. Just add that to the list of evidence stuff here. Barrel fragments plus smooth wall. Okay. Let's see. I guess I also check around to see if there's anything else of interest on the island.
Well, that was kind of covered by the initial check.
Yeah. So there's nothing else.
I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, just like maybe doing a once over, make sure.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's guano, which you could process into gunpowder, but that's a process.
Probably not something that would be worth much to sell. I'm assuming.
It's a spell component for fireball.
I don't have
But
fireball, and if I did,
Yeah.
it would have probably been through the Eldritch Invocation
I
that
don't
allows you to
think
cast
warlocks
fireball
have
at will at the
fireball.
spot of your Eldritch Blast once per day.
Well, maybe I'm a good DM, and if you actually paid attention to like the bird poop that you needed, you might get a bonus. I don't know.
Maybe.
You know, but that's not really something that we're gonna be. Well, I guess maybe take a sample of it as evidence. I don't know. Maybe it
Bird
could
poop.
tell something about the diet,
Yeah, maybe.
seeing as there was the stench of rotting meat.
Oh, you do find something.
Yeah.
And when you head back to the ship, there's a kobold.
Oh, who would have thought? Oh, this is such a surprise! Look, it's a knick-knack, everyone!
It's Nick that.
He awkwardly hides behind like the mast. So yeah.
Well,
But
Uh,
besides that, there's no new stuff that pops up.
Alright then.
um, I I guess I ask him about whether or not it's okay for him to, you know, be here with us and whether the tribe needs him.
I am weak. I need to be strong before I'm useful to the tribe.
If I, he gets combat training on friggin' the way doing this.
Yay!
Yay!
Yep.
What do you What do you teach him? I guess who teaches it? You're
I-
warlocks. I don't know what you're gonna try to teach
Oh
him.
yeah, I meant more of he's accompanying us, and so he gets battle experience.
Only if he's actively
You
trained.
know, he
Yeah.
he gets the battle experience to level up, you know?
Sure.
I
We'll see
guess.
how long he lives.
Hopefully for the whole journey.
Uh-huh.
know.
You know, we have no healers, we have we have nothing to rest him back.
So are you
He's
saying you want to teach him to be a cleric?
I'm not a cleric.
You want Knick-Knack to be your healer?
I mean, given enough time, he could be.
Well, I mean, not specifically. I was trying to say like we got no healers to bring him
Yeah,
back up.
Right.
I
Oh,
guess for the time being on the way back, I give him training in simple weapons or whatever.
Knick-Knack's already
Okay.
Knick-Knack can already use like a stick, like a spear, he calls it.
Okay. I don't know what else. I'm assuming that we don't just have targets on the boat.
Or like ranged stuff.
Yeah,
Not really.
Yep,
You can make him like pretty easily. They're not very sophisticated.
Well, I guess whenever we go back to report, I Get a few basic materials to make some of those.
Okay.
All
I
right.
mean, I'll just rule that you already have it because that's just like
Okay. Yeah.
their rope, like a
Yeah.
plank. You want like a karate board, like
Uh, okay.
unless
Yeah.
you mean like a soft target dummy. That's just
I
like
mean,
rope
I could
coiled together.
also spar with him.
There you
Okay, I
go.
guess that. Yeah, I was going
Yeah,
to
there
try
you
to
go.
Destroy
give
him. Crush him.
Kick his ass.
I was going to try to give him crossbow training, but I guess you
I
know,
mean, you could still do
I
that.
guess Yagen can spar with him.
In between
I
getting
mean,
his
we both
axe
use
kicked.
pole arms.
That's true. It's true. You do both use pole arms.
Yeah, which you know, could help.
Mine's bigger.
Well, yes, you are a lot larger of a creature than Knickknack is. So
Yep.
That's too big for Knickknack. So where are you going next? You're going back to Banesridge?
yeah, I guess we
Yeah.
report on the findings and the fact that I did was the chill and feeling of being watched similar to what was on the ship that we were on, like the unease?
Mm,
Mm.
great question. That is a very psychological question. Why don't you make an insight check for yourself?
Okay, insight 6.
6. Maybe. I mean,
It's a tough question.
it is a tough question.
I mean, we didn't bother looking around to check any for the rotting meat.
Yeah, you smelled it, and there's the grease, but you didn't see any meat itself.
Is something that I will probably note when I report. Okay. So I guess I go back there and report that to the guild.
Very good. Um. Let me just try to figure out how to up the pace of this campaign. If you're all right with that, that is.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. All right. There's stuff moving in the background. It's just yeah. I mean, there is stuff for you to do. It's on the thing. Yeah, he'll take in the information. I guess for stuff like this, he wouldn't like bother to get all dressed up and you could get the office all prepped.
Yeah.
So it's more of like a report to the guild,
And
they will take your statement kind of deal.
yeah.
Yep.
And then I also have rock samples of the weird smelling
Oh,
rock
right, yeah.
and some of the
Yeah,
barrel
take
fragments
those.
and just assorted evidence
Very good.
that I guess I hand
Very
over.
good. Very nice.
And also the drawing of the holes.
Right.
Uh,
All right. Oh, you're spending the night here?
I guess we spend the night in port.
Yeah.
Very good. You have the opportunity to hire crew for your ship.
I mean, maybe once we have more money.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently you don't have a lot of money. Or okay. There's the same garage, Yagi, that does upgrades and stuff for Warforged. Now, did you visit that last time?
No, you said it was maintenance, not
Oh, did I?
upgrades.
Oh, dang! Did I really say that?
Yeah, use it
I
maintenance just to like
I
just to rub some rust off or
I-
whatever.
I think it did
I know that
actually.
you
Yeah.
definitely mentioned maintenance. I'm not sure if you mentioned that it was specifically a maintenance shop or just that you
Well,
could get maintenance. I think
yeah,
it might have
it's
been
you can get
flat.
maintenance there. It's like a bodybuilder shop too, though. Literally. If someone wanted to trade upgrades they find, just kind of a weird subject for Warforged because that might include just like body parts of other Warforged, but specialists and stuff, kind of like a mix of a gym and a health clinic.
I mean, I don't mind.
Seeing as there was a Warforged that went rogue recently, and
Yes,
seeing as the Seekers are known to influence things like mentally, uh in what I read and know about the Seekers now, would there
the
be any
Watchers.
in or yeah, sorry, Watchers. Uh would there be any in I keep getting them confused with Seekers from I think Skyrim.
Oh yeah,
And I think that's what I keep thinking of for Seeker. Would there be any indication that they could maybe mentally affect Warforges, and that might have been what was going on with that?
possible. How would you investigate that?
And
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
just having heard about the weird Warforged dentist, and thinking about oh, if there's a Warforged that went completely batshit insane recently, and there's obviously
Right.
some sort of psionic beast lurking about. I wonder if those two are related somehow.
Do you just like go up and ask them, or that's what I'm asking is like,
I mean, maybe investigate the whole Rogue Warforged thing.
right? Oh, or you want to just like make a roll to like gather that with what you already know.
I
Um,
mean, I guess, gather with what I already know for, like, whether or not it could affect them.
yeah,
So,
nature or Arcana.
uh,
Actually, screw. It's not nature because warforged aren't natural. Arcana or history.
14.
14. So it's important to know that warforged aren't necessarily just animated objects. They're way more sophisticated than that. Uh, Heck, you can ask. Yeah, you have a warforged crewmate right there.
Yeah.
You can ask like, "Hey, are you affected by charm?"
Um,
And you can surmise yes. Yes, it is very possible. Uh, Not only for Warforged to be affected by the same things that can affect humans, but Warforged can also be affected by just whatever bugs that they might have on their own.
mhm.
They have their own brand of mental sickness that comes from having been in a hibernate for so long.
So, yes, since that's something that's on the current island, that we can investigate that as a potential lead.
Yeah, you want to get your teeth fixed?
I don't have teeth.
They'll fix it anyway.
I mean, I do have teeth, but not necessarily the same kind of teeth.
Uh, I guess after we you know that we go spend the night in port and sleep and stuff, and then the next day that I uh ask the party about if they'd want to do that as a potential lead. Lich Yagi.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Mhm.
25 minutes until it's okay.
Very well. The paper boy is gone, but they're still selling the paper. You just have to go
The
to actual
paper boy.
stands.
The paper boy is gone, but they're still selling actual paper, huh?
The newspaper. What I'm saying.
Yeah,
The newspaper has an ad for a new paperboy now, is what I'm trying to say. And you have to go get your newspaper from a stand or whatever. It's just
okay.
just a little detail here and there.
Okay.
You know, why couldn't they use stance in the oh, wait, yeah, right. Actions of my consequences.
You said it backwards again.
Here we go.
I said I keep saying it backwards.
This time the newspaper has some updates here and there. It's been a couple of days since the last time you got the paper.
Okay. I think you said that the paper was 2 copper.
Yeah, it's like trivial.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I just don't even calculate that then because of, just not wanting to have to, carry a bunch of things for subtracting.
There was an escaped pig that was thought to have been stolen 5 days ago. That was found in the forest with perfectly human-looking teeth.
Oh boy.
Ooh boy.
Wow, that doesn't sound. You know,
That totally doesn't sound connected at all.
that sounds very concerning.
There's like a little, not exactly a photograph, but a picture. And you ever see those pictures of fish with human-looking teeth?
Yes.
It's
No,
that
you
same
mean
kind of
zebrafish?
uneasiness of like, oh my gosh, it has incisors and canines and molars, and
Yeah.
it is just disconcerting, to say the least. But besides the teeth, no major injuries or anything. It was just found wandering the forest. It was horribly distressed, but no physical injuries.
And the Warforged thingy place that we had gone, the maintenance shop.
Yeah,
Would that
the chop shop.
would that potentially have anything related to circuitry and memory or anything?
Those are some internals. Most Warforged don't like being messed around with the internals.
Would I be able to purchase
Just
hacking
because there's
tools?
such a high risk of death when you tamper with the circuits.
Okay. Would I be able to purchase hacking tools?
Oh, I would. You see, what you're asking is like asking someone, "Oh, can I get a scroll of dominate person?"
Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah,
Yeah, hi.
but
Can I
specifically for one
get
race,
one
and
piece of total obedience, please? Thank you.
like hacking tools, I just like turn my head and look at you and like
I mean, we're going after an insane rogue Warforged, so
Yeah.
you know.
I
Push
are you
comes to
even good with
shove.
those?
Maybe they're not insane. Maybe maybe they have their reasons.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
But
You know, I mean, worst comes to worst,
For-
I beat the scrap
for-
out of them.
prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that's not.
That the talk. The body shop is kind of like a meeting place for the Warforged too. Not to say that there are a lot of them.
Well,
But if
I
you
mean,
go there,
speaking of upgrades, I mean, if I could give myself a fucking flamethrower, who wouldn't want
you
upgrades?
all. You already bought a blunder. Had me buy you a blunderbuss.
Yeah, I think you're good
True.
for now.
Yeah. When I was thinking about when I was thinking about upgrades, I started thinking about like the Mandalorian flamethrower stuff.
oh, you want it from your wrist. Unfortunately, the only available slot is from between your legs.
Why?
I'm joking. Yeah, you can have one on your wrist eventually.
So, guess, go see what I could find on if they know about the insane dentist or whatever.
Yeah. There's a bartender bot serving drinks. It's hard to tell what Warforged drink. I think we have established they can get drunk.
Yeah, we
Um,
have.
Yeah.
Uh, but the bartender will say, well, howdy there. What can I get you? I suppose you wouldn't want some motor oil for your system. That is incompatible.
I ask if they, know anything about the, rogue dentist.
Jimothy. He was a regular patron of ours just until a couple of weeks ago. I wonder how he's doing. He's rogue, you say?
In the forest, you know, apparently, ripping people's teeth out and replacing them or something.
Well, that sounds really violent.
Uh,
That doesn't sound like Jimothy at all.
I, ask, if there's, been any, if the, person would have had picked up on any potential irregularities in his personality prior to this happening. Or,
That's information that goes to paying customers.
guess I order Yagi a drink.
Help I was gonna say help another Warforge
Yeah,
out.
I order Yagi a drink. How much?
Very good.
How much would that be?
It's like a silver. It's nothing big.
Okay.
It's like a super fizzy, super frothy, peppery kind of drink. Highly alcoholic.
How would you know how would people know that they're not hmm. I probably think like at least some other humanoid other than a Warforged decided to try it out.
Has laxative properties for some humans and dwarves. Elves seem fine with it, though.
Laxatives.
Uh,
Well,
Yep.
so,
Lubricates things all the way down.
Well, if I ever feel constipated, I
and then
sound
I spit my drink out.
well, I mean, it's
A
not the end of
warforged, it
the world.
lubricates other parts of the body.
Yeah.
So since I've bought him a drink, I guess I ask for, if the he had noticed any changes in behavior, anything that might.
Well, he was seeming kind of down, or as down as a warforged could get. And he said he needed to do some soul searching, as it is, whatever that means.
Uh,
Um, he said he was unhappy with his position, with how he was built, and he wanted, again, to find himself. Now, what I thought that would mean just going off, getting drunk, and doing whatever a midlife crisis that normal people do. But for him, I guess that means going feral in the woods and doing dentistry on animals.
um, no indication of any sort of tampering.
Yeah.
Tampering.
Or
He does come in contact with people fairly often, just given by the nature of his profession. Thing is, he doesn't really do a lot of business with outsiders, and it's hard to imagine that any of the locals would have any business tampering with him.
I just, I guess I ask, if the bartender has any idea of where he would have gone.
The paper says in the woods, but and all of his tools are built in, so he doesn't necessarily have to go back and forth and resupply. He didn't say anything, but my suspicion would be probably the abandoned monastery. That offers some shelter from the elements.
I guess I'll thank him and say that we'll try to poke some sense into him.
I'd appreciate it. Warforged, there are not many of us left, and it's important to stick together.
I guess after Yagi finishes his drink, we head off.
All right then.
Yeah.
And I guess
Although I gotta end soon
And,
though.
Okay.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to ask how long is left of the session because the
All right.
film
Well.
I'm gonna watch starts in like 14 minutes.
just
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys gotta get going. And next time we'll track down the rogue dentist, and you better hold on to your teeth.
Yeah, I guess we grab Knick-Knack and prepare to
Alright.
find the dentist.
Yeah, Knick-Knack.
Yep.
Knick-Knack's gonna
Now
get a tooth job.
we square off Knick-Knack against the dentist and let him have all the XP points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you
Just
guys
like
next
just
week,
like
and I
spending
won't
on
forget
a
next time.
Pokemon battle.
Yeah, it's a
See ya.
Pokemon battle. Bye.